Hi, Dr. Turri here again with you. Thanks for taking some time to join me at fixmyhearing.com. Today's topic is the hearing loss test, quote unquote hearing loss test. I had a patient ask me about the test I gave them the other day. They had been to one of those national chains, a free hearing screening type thing, and they had their test, and somebody tried to sell them hearing aids, and they decided they wanted a second opinion. So they got online, they found me, and they felt comfortable with the testimonials from my patients and some of my training here. They came in and they saw me. First thing they want to know is, why do we charge for a hearing test as opposed to the place that doesn't charge for a hearing test? Well, think about other things that you pay or don't pay for. Whenever I'm offered a free test or a free service or a free initial consultation, I know that ultimately this person is going to try to sell me their service. They want me to come in because it's free, and I show up, but ultimately at the end it's a sales pitch. So in my office, we're going to bill your insurance company for the hearing test. It's covered, it's paid for, we're going to bill it. Because you're not paying me to try to sell you something. You're paying me to test your hearing, find out if you have a problem, and if you do, what are the solutions. So when you pay me for that, guess what? I don't have to sell you hearing aids. I don't have to try to talk you into do something you're not really ready for. You're simply paying me for my professional opinion to tell you what I think and if there's help. And that's it. When we're done with our test, I explain the results to you. You take a report with you, or we mail it to you when it's complete. We get it to your doctor. Everybody knows what's going on. If you want help, if you're looking for solutions, then obviously we're ready to help you. But the focus is to inform you, educate you, so you can make good decisions on your own, with us or someplace else. The whole idea is help you understand your situation and get you some help. So that's one aspect of the question. The other aspect of this question that this patient asked me was, okay, so you did this test, and at the end, we talked about it, right? The comment from most of my patients that have had the free version versus my version is how much longer my test takes and how much more detailed it is. When you get a free hearing screening for the purposes of hearing aid candidacy, it's a very short test. It's what they call just tones and some words, okay? A complete diagnostic hearing test is much more involved. We test middle ear function with a couple different tests. We test inner ear or outer hair cell function with a different test, and then we do the test that gives us what's called threshold information and what have you. So, diagnostic test, much more involved. All three parts of the ear test. Status of anatomy is determined. Functional impairment is determined. We rule out other issues that could be contributing to your problem that are more significant, more medically oriented, and get you to the appropriate professional to work on those things when we're fine. You can't find all these things with a simple hearing aid screening test. So that's the big. A diagnostic hearing test is much more involved. It takes a little bit longer, but the info is so much more important at determining if there's anything else causing your issues. Anybody can test your hearing real quick and tell you need a hearing aid. What you really need is more complete information about the status of your auditory system. We want to rule out what we call pathology of the ear that's more serious than perhaps just a hearing loss that can be fixed with hearing aids. And once we rule all that out and we determine that you just have the type of loss that's appropriate for amplification, then you can get down to the business at hand of determining whether you want help, need help, and whether you want it at a sales office or if you want to do it with a doctor. It's up to you at that point. But the key is get a good diagnostic test, pay for it, so that there's no pressure. Nobody's trying to make a living by selling you hearing. Shouldn't be that way. Alrighty? Any questions, please feel free to call me. You can email me anytime at drturri@fixmyhearing.com. Thanks again for joining us. I hope that answered your questions.